Rick Springfield.
I'm having none of it, Rick Springfield. Welcome back to And Just Like Yap. I am Andi.
I'm Caroline.
Here we are. We were left on a crazy cliffhanger. There was a soap opera pregnancy revealed to us, and now we are going to jump right into episode 3. We have already started to notice that, I guess, the way the show is structured is sort of like Law and Order rules of like one case of divorce per episode in record time. But something that gets introduced in this episode is we have like a roundtable discussion about like the themes of the episode. And this one is like youth and medical procedures that help us try and capture the ephemeral quality of youth. What was crazy about this is I feel like everything we're talking about, Kim K has actually probably done.
For sure.
I remember like infomercials of like devices that would like make your abs do like muscle spasms, but like it turns out I guess this is like actual real stuff that you can pay to do. Kim has also famously, am I correct, had a Brazilian butt lift. Yes? Or no?
Here's the thing. This is the thing about like a lot of the stuff with the Kardashians that I think people rightfully have question marks about, because they will say like, no, I didn't get any surgery like on this, and it's like, guys, like we can clearly there's been assistance, but like she's not been open about the assistant.
Yeah, I hear you. Again, this is one of the ways in which the show has like this surrealist, absurdist quality. Not to bring Edward Albee's name into the conversation, may he rest in peace, famed playwright, but like there is that quality to this show where you're like, I am watching Kim Kardashian play the part of a woman who is hooking this device up to her butt, knowing full well that Kim Kardashian has absolutely had a weird device hooked up to her butt at some point. They're kind of winking at us, but like they're also kind of like making fun of us. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Meanwhile, like we have Allura in this crazy suit that like kind of looks like someone's like stabbed her in the chest, but she like bled in flower petals. And then the women are like discussing like all of these different methodologies of staying young, and we once again have Naomi Watts saying a line that, like, I'm not convinced she's fully comfortable saying. No tiny pricks for Miss Emerald over there. Emerald chimes in and is like, I have these, like, incredibly hot men come over and give me massages. And then props to the prop designer. They deserve a technical Emmy nomination. Yeah. Dina interrupts them and is like, wait a minute, what are we all doing for our spiritual well-being? A question asked many years ago by Cher Horowitz. We think that Liberty's about to chime in as the other voice of reason, is like, yeah, that's important. And then she just talks about how she gets this weird IV because menopause has made her one of the great buzzwords that we torture women with, inflammation.
Well, and here's what I'll say. What's fascinating about this too is because I think Naomi Watts is working on a menopause thing outside of the show. Then Dina comes back in and is like, don't you women ever just want to like lie in a hammock and read Jane Austen? And Laura's like, absolutely not. This line I was like screaming at. It's like, Jane Austen is rolling wherever she is. She's like, how did I get dragged into this? Like, please leave me out of this. And then, of course, we get Dina's 2 cents on the matter as someone who is much older than these women and still looks great. But she's asking the very valid question of, like, once you start, you know, injections and plastic surgeries and treatments, like, where does it stop? Where does it end? Which is the perfect lead into the guest star that we have been dying to see, and now we know why we didn't see her in the trailer, even though we heard about her. It is because we wanted this crazy moment of seeing Jessica Simpson buried under about 8 to 10 pounds of facial prosthetics. And this storyline is both insane and like absolutely captivating and horrifying. So she comes in to meet with the women because she is talking about her awful marriage to this rock star who they literally named Tommy. And he's clearly supposed to be kind of like a Tommy Lee-esque figure. Yeah. He's some sort of like aging rock star. When she has a flashback to like when they met, she went to one of his concerts and, you know, she experienced this level of like passion and wild abandon she had never experienced before. She felt like she had been like
seen by God because this like famous rock star was like, falling for her and completely enraptured by her. They have crazy sex in the shower while she's still wearing her wedges.
I hope they're Jessica Simpson wedges.
Oh my God, yes. I used to have a pair of Jessica Simpson. I don't know if they were wedges, but I definitely bought a couple pairs of Jessica Simpson shoes last minute, like a TJ Maxx. Like we all have.
We all have. They're great shoes. And I had a few of her dresses. The dresses are great too. No complaints.
She knew what she was doing. And this gets so dark. So fucking dark. She is giving him head, and then he gets up and is like, I love when you do that because I don't have to look at your face. Her gorgeous face.
I know.
He like knocks a bunch of food off of a platter and like forces her to look at her reflection. And he's like, if you cared about me, you'd do something about this. He looks like a crusty old raisin and has the audacity to say this to her. It's so awful. It made me like feel like actually sick to my stomach.
Rick Springfield.
I'm having none of it, Rick Springfield.
I know.
She's crying, and oh boy, I never really considered how sort of weird it would be to see tears flowing down
prosthetics.
This much facial prosthesis. Yeah, and she was like, I had let myself go, which of course we know is not true. She was like, okay, well, he's made me feel this insecure. Like, what could it hurt to get a little bit of work done? But he insisted on her having everything done. And he had a fan of his do the work, who we come to find out it was Matt Costa, the butcher of Beverly Hills. So this man is known as like a horrible plastic surgeon who had his license revoked.
I wondered also if it was a Ryan Murphy like tongue-in-cheek thing, because in Nip Tuck, the guy was the butcher, was the serial killer. So I was like,
really?
Yeah.
Maybe. Very, very likely. The most horrifying part about this is she says that, like, he could tell this guy to do whatever he wanted. So, like, the idea that you would be getting plastic surgery that you didn't know about, like, while you're under the... Whew, that's so fucking dark. So these women get started on the case. Meanwhile, Emerald and Dina have to reveal to Allura the latest one of Chase's sexcapades has been revealed. And this is where, we've been having fun. We've been having a good time. I will say some of what is to come, it is kind of transphobic and homophobic. Allura is very upset to find out that Chase has been sleeping with a trans sex worker. Emerald then corrects her and is like, former sex worker. Apparently she now works at the stadium where Chase plays football. He bought her a house, but
in Playa Del Rey, which is like 10 minutes from LAX. It's like a great area, but it's also like funny because it's like, it's not like Santa Monica.
Yeah.
It's not like Malibu, but like Playa. It's like, so it's going to be much more affordable. Like, so it's not as like luxurious in comparison to the other parts that they've like probably been in.
And then like Emerald also adds to that. There's only so much he loves this woman because he bought her a used Prius. And then God bless Kim. I don't know what she did to get to on-screen tears. I don't know, but she managed to do it.
She got it.
Allura is at her breaking point and is like, when is this ever going to be over? We have a quick scene where Dougie is at his doctor and he finds out that his cancer is not only back, but it has spread to other places. And we also find out in this scene that like Dougie hasn't been super forthcoming with Dina about how bad his medical situation is.
Birkin watch.
That's why I took the screenshot. I was like, we have finally reached the point where they're just like unabashedly with no shame. Like the Birkin is a paid actor in the scene. Like the Birkin is framed in the shot as if it is like contributing to the conversation.
Is the Birkin getting the SAG day rate?
I mean, it doesn't have any speaking lines, so like I don't know. The Birkin is like more in focus than like Kim is in this shot. Milan starts to reveal a little bit more about her sexual relationship with Chase and how he was into some stuff Allura might not have known about or might not have been doing with him. One item of which is that she wore a strap-on. If you need to know more information, you can watch an episode of Broad City where Abby pegs her neighbor, and it's very informative. And now Caroline is thrilled because we get, I forget what this actor's name
Kevin
is. What
Connolly
is his name?
from Entourage.
Yes, from Entourage.
And also The Notebook.
Oh yeah, The Notebook. My first thing I recognize him from is He's Just Not That Into You.
Oh yeah, and he also dated Nikki Hilton in real life.
This fucking guy, Tommy's lawyer, is this guy, and they enter the Vagina Palace and turn over what they think is actually a really amazing offer. They're prepared to offer her $30 million because they just want this to be over. And the women are like, you're hilarious. We want a lot more than that. And Emerald reveals that she has found out about every single one of this fucking haunted skeleton's assets in his offshore accounts in Dubai, and they want all of it. He's, of course, super fucking pissed and is like, I'm not giving that money to that reptile-faced bat-winged motherfucker. Just awful. Just awful. Absolutely awful. I mean, they've clearly added stuff to her face to make it clear that, like, this was not the best plastic surgery. That fucking rat fucker. Like, this is just, it was so dark and so difficult for me to watch. And I have to say, Jessica Simpson, under heavy facial prosthetics, still has more charisma than Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry. Like, she's doing an excellent job in this role. Like, I say Emmy nom?
I mean, Daisy Duke. She's been on camera before. Our girl knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing.
I do feel like we need to ask your sister offline how much blackmail is, like, actually happening in law firms. Because it's, like, yet another blackmail session we've entered.
She's gonna say what she usually says to me, which is like, Andi, once again, the kind of law I practice is not applicable to the questions you're asking me.
And that's a real lawyer. That's how I know we're talking to a real lawyer.
Correct. Yes, so they come to reveal, like, we have struck a deal with the butcher plastic surgeon, and he has agreed if we settle this medical malpractice suit with him, of which there are many, that he will give us his notes. And apparently the first consultation that Jessica Simpson had with the butcher was that she just wanted a lip augmentation, and Tommy insisted on a number of other things, which obviously turned out very badly. And then, you know, they go after his public opinion and say, like, we could definitely pitch this story to Rolling Stone. Once again, as you said, we are just doing blackmail instead of the law, which is fine.
Is the bar, like, reviewing this firm at all? Like, I feel like, are they under any accreditation? Like,
I have absolutely no idea. Yeah, he calls her a greedy bitch, and then Emerald is like, don't you go after her. We are the greedy bitches. Like, this was actually in the same way that, like, Charlotte yelling at Big, like, sort of makes me instantly emotional. Like, this made me very emotional because she, like, immediately came to her defense, and then after yelling at him, like, went to check on her. It was actually very sweet. We find out that we've gotten the results of the STI test, and both Milan and Allura do not have anything, so that's good news. Mm-hmm. Dina is like, hey, I am going to meet with Carr alone because you're very emotional. And Kim's like, yes, I am very emotional. I can't even do it with a straight face.
I know. The biggest pussy bow we have seen yet. She's out pussying the other pussy bow.
A clear reference to The Devil Wears Prada because she says, bore someone else with your directions. Please bore someone else with your questions. Yeah, so she barges right in. I can't believe I'm noticing this, but I believe those are earrings from, like, the new, like, Tiffany, like, I don't know, industrial collection. I saw some ad for it. And
She's
I was
a fashion girl.
If you couldn't tell, this gray shirt is vintage. And by vintage, I mean it's from H&M 10 years ago. There's holes in the armpits. So Carr is back. And she is like, we want $1 million a month because clearly we need money for the bow budget because my bows are enormous. Dina fires back with like, well, your client has been in a sexual relationship with a trans former sex worker. His endorsement deals with NFL and Nike are not going to love that. And Carr fires back like,
incredible.
It's 2025 or whatever year this takes place in. It's present day. Like, you can fuck right off, like, if you want to side with J.K. Rowling. Like, but we're cool with trans people now. Like, you'll bag.
Incredible. Loved it.
And Dina's like, well, he's also sleeping with a lot of other people. And Car's like, he's prepared to come forward as a sex addict. This is good law, you guys.
I know. These two, ping pong. Back. It's like Marty Supreme. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
So yeah, whatever Dina's firing at her, Car's like, we've already thought about this. Like, we know how we're gonna handle it. Once again, the show is only produced so that Evan Ross Katz could take screenshots
you may think
of
I'm
it.
being a greedy little pig, but I'm like, can I do this? But like, I want to get this voice so badly.
She's like, you may think I'm being a greedy little pig bottom, and I love that Dina immediately is like, I do, yes. She lays down the final hammer, which is, here's the thing. You're going to do everything I want, regardless of how calm you think you're being and how smart you think you are, because there are 2 frozen embryos that are half Allura and half Chase, and they are in a refrigerated vault in downtown Encino. So she's like, this is the ultimate bargaining chip. Like, Allura didn't tell you, but like, she wants babies, and there are always frozen, ready to go embryos that she cannot have access to without Chase. So what are you going to do? And then this moment where she pulls out her phone and takes a picture of Dina's shocked face. Dina is like, you have become a loathsome person, which is clearly very true. And Car's like, well, you guys all fucking kicked me out of your like fun little hot lady lawyers club. And Dina's like, you flew out of the nest full of anger, which you've never dealt with. Again, I don't know how I feel about this because I watched those scenes and it sort of seemed like everybody was just being super mean to Car, but like, what are you gonna do? And then we get this iconic line that Allura is not going to get the eggs because Car will gladly slather them in A1 steak sauce and eat them, which is so fucking gross.
That is such a disgusting visual.
Foul indeed. So this meeting did not go great. And then she's like, and by the way, we also want half the law firm, which is clearly just Car using this case to her advantage.
I was like, I don't think Chase threw that in there. I think that was a Car, like...
Chase doesn't care. Like, he doesn't want to be half owner of a law firm. So now, Chase is meeting up with Maria, this woman that he has been seeing, the trans former sex worker in question. Allura has already reached out to Maria and has made a play for, like, you're also a victim of, like, Chase sleeping with all of these people. Like, get on my team and, like, help me tell your story. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm going to deny. I'm going to ignore it because, like, I'm on team Chase. And Chase is like, you're so cool. And she's like, not really. This is transaction. You have been giving me money to sleep with you. And then she plays her cards in a very savvy way and is like, here's the deal. I'm going to be on your side, but this is going to continue to be transactional. After the dust is all settled and the divorce is over, I want a photo op with you because that will do a lot for the LGBTQ community as far as legitimizing. He's like, okay, so like all you want is a photo op in page 6, like that's it? And she's like, actually, no. I actually think we should like, the date will partially be for optics, but like, let's see if we've got chemistry. And then they end up holding hands. It's strange because Chase is clearly the villain and we don't really have any motivation for like why he wants to hurt Allura so much. Like, if this man has his own money from the NFL, like, why does he care about getting what he wants in a divorce settlement with Allura?
Like, what is the motivation? Is it just that he is a sex addict? Or is that a cover because he's really into Maria? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I think just more of the motivation of Chase. I'm like, ultimately, like we said, I'm just like confused.
We find out we are not done with Leanne because Leanne has decided that she is still on the warpath despite getting a huge settlement in the divorce. This scene was like iconic.
Yeah.
Leanne comes into this restaurant where Tommy and his new hot young thing are eating, wearing this crazy sparkly outfit, and is like, hey, you two lovebirds, and immediately starts describing in very vivid detail just how awful it was to be this man's sexual partner, that he wants you to worship his sagging balls and gray pubes.
Incredible.
I just can't believe we got so lucky to hear Jessica Simpson say, wait till you get to that anal.
Again, we said Emmys for Jessica.
She says that she's actually at the restaurant to come all over his face, because that's what he used to do to her. And she throws some jar of liquid at him. I thought it was going to... Yes, yeah. I thought it was going to be pee at first, and it turns out that it's sulfuric acid, which his face starts to like blister and get red. And she was like, don't worry, I've got the best plastic surgeon for you. And honestly, was this a good choice for her? Absolutely not. She's probably going to get arrested, but I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. This man was so fucking unlikable.
Correct. We support women's rights and women's wrongs.
Yes, especially women's wrongs. I think more wrongs than
right. Right. 2 wrongs make a right.
Yeah, so that was just a crazy over-the-top scene.
Incredible.
So it turns out that they are presenting this story to Allura, not just to keep her up to date, but also as a cautionary tale. Once again, this is where, like, Kim's overall kind of stiff, emotionless quality sort of flies in the face of the storytelling a little bit, because they're like, because you're so eaten up by rage. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I love this. In order to, like, fully further drive the point home, Emerald quotes Confucius. Sure. Saying, when you embark on a journey of revenge, you need to dig 2 graves.
Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a guy on the Chiefs coming straight home to me. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. She heads over to Milan's and is, like, has all of these, like, hired men coming in, like, bringing in, like, baby furniture and, like, objects. Then this shot really made me laugh because, I'm sorry, when has Kim Kardashian ever assembled her own furniture in her life? She's using, like, the tiny Allen wrench that, like, comes with the furniture. I'm like, there's just no way. There's just no way. Milan is like, what's going on? Like, why are you being nice? They start to talk more and suss out, like, what exactly is going on. And Allura is like, have you told Chase about the baby? And she was like, fuck that. I'm going to take care of it. It's my baby. He's not going to have anything to do with it. And then Milan realizes the reason that Allura is being so nice is because she wanted to have kids of her own. And Allura's like, you don't even know. Like, I already literally have, like, 2 embryos ready to go. I wanted a boy at this age and a girl at this age. Like, that was the plan. And now, like, they're probably just going to be frozen in a freezer forever because I can't get to them without Chase. Marital property, cars, like, threatening that she's never going to be able to have the embryos. And Milan is like, fuck that shit. And Allura is like, you know what? Yes. Fuck that shit.
I know.
And then we realize exactly how much fuck that shit we are going, because Allura enters the bathroom with a syringe and you're like, what's happening? So she's giving herself this injection in the bathroom, and then we do get a flashback to when these eggs were harvested, when Chase was at her side and she was like, here's the deal, like, everything's been about work, but, like, eventually this will be what all the work is for. And we see her, after the injection, put her wedding ring back on. Mm-hmm.
This was, I was like mouth agape for the next 5 minutes of this episode.
Oh yeah, this was shocking. This was actually shocking. And, like, one of these moments where I was like, this show is so off the rails and insane, but also this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
like,
correct.
Given what we've already seen. Like, this is actually the best way of taking care of this situation. The main obstacle are these embryos. So, like, let me just literally get them to a place where nobody can take them away from me. So she puts her wedding ring back on. I had to take this screenshot because I was like, did Yeti pay for product placement? Like, what? Why? The doctor's like, did you do your trigger shot? Have you been taking your hormones? Is your bladder full? And she's like, just finished up a full Yeti Rambler in the car. What? And the doctor tells her, and this is a real thing that happens.
Yep, frequently.
You may end up pregnant with twins if we're gonna implant both embryos. And Allura's like, we should be so lucky. And the doctor's like, such a shame your husband couldn't be here, but, like, as long as you have his signature, like, we're all good. And boy, does she have his signature in that she committed forgery. She's getting the embryos implanted, and the embryologist is like, We don't know how our thoughts affect our biology. She's like, think happy thoughts. And we get a Lana Del Rey needle drop, and we are back to Allura and Chase's very private wedding on the beach. Yeah, so we go back to a happier time when we thought all would be well. Also, the whole theme of this episode has been like women aging and trying not to age, and like men taking it out on them in various ways. And so like the choice of song being "Will You Still Love Me When I'm No Longer Young and Beautiful?" Like very, very apt. I don't know who has this full of face for a medical procedure, but go off. The embryos are on their way to her womb as we end this episode.
I was in shock. I was like, there was no way in my head I was like thinking that she was gonna go rogue and get those implants. Like, I don't know where we go from here. I really, like, we're only 3 episodes in. Like, what? Is she gonna be pregnant with twins the rest of the season? Like, I don't know.
Is she gonna be pregnant concurrently with Milan being pregnant?
I know.
Like the show just went in a very different direction than I was expecting. We didn't even know that these embryos existed until the top of this episode. So yeah, real crazy. So as usual, find us on TikTok, find us on Instagram, comment below. How are you feeling?
It's so fun. I can't wait for next week's episode. I really can't wait to see. There's no preview, so I have no idea what we're getting into, and I can't wait.